and welcome to our brand new season of Brains Unpicked. We're in season 2, chapter 2 of our journey of podcasting. So, just some little insider information before you jump into the episode. We are now going to be reducing our episodes to monthly. That's not on you guys, that's on us. We are busy, and when you dive into the episode, you'll see a little bit more of like what's been going on and why we're busy and why we're just taking a little time to reduce it before we bring it back up. We want this to be the best podcast that it can be, and in order to do that, we need to maybe go back a little bit. On today's episode, we dive into what has been minorly inconveniences. Guess who it is? It's us, it's ourselves. No way, who'd have thought that? And then after that, we kind of just talk about the world and being in your 20s and how being in your 20s is hard. So it's a very, I would say it's not maybe our most light-hearted episode, but it is a good one, and I'm actually really happy with it. So go and listen to it right now.
Rose and Zoe overthink, ask you questions, leave you on the brink. What's the point of existence? Welcome back to Brains Unpicked.
Hello, welcome back. It's season 2.
We're back.
We're back.
Did you miss us? I'm sure you did.
You better did.
You better did. We're back. It's been our birthday. We've left
Wish
the
us
banner up.
happy birthday.
It's been a year. It's now October.
Yeah.
The year was in September, but we took a break.
We did, because we deserve it. So shut your mouth.
But we're back.
We are.
This is season 2.
And we are still two 20-something-year-olds who spiral, ponder life, ponder the universe, don't know what any of it's about, and neither do you, but this is where we sort that.
Yeah, this is where we wrong all rights all wrongs,
yes.
Wrongs all rights, who knows.
Sing all the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are
So is I.
here. Oh, don't. We're just going to dive right in that. Don't even get me started. So,
Tell me about it.
right. So we have come to film season 2 today, our first episode, and I was very, very excited about it. However, I have had nothing but inconvenience after inconvenience after inconvenience. So I wasn't feeling great earlier. I was just feeling a bit off. I was struggling to concentrate. My head was sore, and I was like, I need to stop whatever I'm doing. So I was like, I'll make my lunch, and then I'll lie down and watch a TV show, which I did. And then I fell asleep. Now, I knew that might happen, therefore I'd set an alarm for 3:20 and thought I'll be fine. Yet no, that failed, and I didn't get up. And I texted Rose at 10 to 4 to say, I've just woken up, and our recording time started at what time, Rose?
4 p.m.
How far away do I live?
15 minutes?
Yep, so either way I was going to be late if I was leaving at that time. So I had to quickly pull myself together. Now, I was in honestly, I could actually, we'll put up the picture that I'd sent Rose midday of how I was looking, because I was looking rough. So pulled myself together, didn't wash my hair despite the fact that it desperately needs wash, so there's a lot of dry shampoo in it anyway, but boring details. So I rock up here, and it's not too bad, it's 20 past 4, so that's pretty impressive. It was only 20 minutes late. Rock up, and I'm like, let's go. And we're starting to set up, and I'm looking through the bag with the kit, and I'm like, something's missing here and I don't know what it is, and I'm just rummaging through the bag, and I go, I've not got the camera charger. What percent's the camera at, Rose?
5%.
5%. So guess who has to go back home? Me. The answer's me. I have to go back home to go get the charger. However, I was like, I'll set up the recording equipment first so that when I come back, we're good to go. What stopped working? The recording equipment. Reaper was like, no sound, sorry, no this, no that, no this. Cool. So I then miraculously somehow Reaper fixes itself.
It was like you shut it down.
If it's broken, just turn it off and turn it back on again, you know what I mean? And I rush home and I get the charger, and that was fine. But more has happened since then that you're not aware of.
Right.
So I then jump back in the car, everything's fine, until I take the wrong turn getting to your house, because what I thought was parked traffic was in fact just a very long queue that I couldn't get back into. So I had to come the long way. Someone also cut in front of me, and that made me heavy fucking raging. And then we got here, and Reaper stopped working again. But now we're here, and it starts. Now, when I explain it like that, I'm not as minor. It's so minor, actually.
No, but when you explain it quickly, it all sounds like
your mic's not recording again.
Well, this kind of leads on quite well to my minor
great, cool.
inconvenience because, and this was how I was going to phrase this, and I feel like based on this day, you're going to say yes. Have you ever had a day or a week or just a time period of your life that is so bad that you've had to Google the symbolism of the things that have happened to you?
Why do you think I'm so obsessed with the planets? Listen, I want to take no blame for my own problems. I want to cast that to the moons and the stars.
Yeah, I had to... Last week, there were so many like minor inconveniences that happened to me. There's been major inconveniences over the last few weeks, but so many minor ones that I can't even remember a lot of them. However, I think it all put me in such a bad mood last Friday. I mean, you saw me last Friday. I had the grumpiest day ever on Friday. I felt like a petulant child. Like, you know, one of those days where you just want to, like, throw yourself on the floor and kick and scream and cry.
To be a toddler again, honestly.
Oh, like, the way they just get away with
turn your
that.
mic down 1, please. Or 2. Sorry. Alright, go.
The way that they just get away with that, and you're just not allowed to do that as an adult. But I had a really bad day on Friday. Zoe saw it. She immediately had to come to my aid and give me
the thing is,
big hug.
I actually hadn't seen any of it because I was out all day. I had just seen a text from you saying, when are you coming into the office? I'm having a day. And I thought,
When you came in and I was sat on the floor in the dark trying to work. And then immediately gave me a hug and was like, are you okay? And I was like, no. But anyway, I was like, I'm just gonna go home and I'm gonna do nothing.
I've just remembered what happened.
Yeah. Exactly, Zoe. Exactly. I was like, I'm just gonna go home. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna have a miserable evening at home, and I might induce a cry.
Right.
I might watch a sad film, right? But my chum Erin was like, no, I think it would make you
Shout
feel
out to
better.
Erin, by the way, because she's our number one supporter.
She is. She was like, no, I think you should. I got in it in group, and she was like, I think you should come. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, God's sake.
And I will say, the more that I've got to know you, your tantrums are tantrumy.
They are. Like,
they are
like
crazy.
I feel like I don't let a lot out until it comes out in a massive, like, and I was like, right. And I forced myself to get changed.
Forced myself to the knitting.
Yeah. And I was like, it got dressed. I was like, I made myself as comfy as possible. I was like, I want nothing touching me that I don't want touching me. And I was like, I'm gonna sit on the floor at knitting. I don't want anyone to tell me that this is weird. Just pretend it's all normal. And I went to leave the house, and the lock on my flat door has been kind of weird. So instead of just pulling it shut, it sticks. So I've been having to put the key in the lock, turn the lock open, shut it, and make sure it's locked.
Telling everyone Junior. John, I don't care what I was going to say. Continue.
So I went to do that, and as I went to shut my door, turned the lock, fully just turned the key and broke the key in the door.
That would honestly be the straw that broke the camel's back that day. I'd have flipped out. I don't think I'd have been okay.
Well, I tried to laugh about it. I did.
Right,
well,
good.
Do you know what?
So
I
think
laugh
that's
about
funny.
it. Yeah, I did laugh about it.
I think you get to a point of so many minor inconveniences that you've just got to giggle.
Yeah.
Like, I think major things are funny. Like, major inconveniences, I actually think, maybe that's a weird response.
Probably.
But, like, I can cope with those, but, like, see the minor things, I just...
Yeah. Well, I was like, okay, broken key. I probably could have went out if I, like, put the lock on the snip, and I could have used the other lock, but it's kind of dodgy as well. So I was like, that was my sign. Just don't leave the house. Yeah. So I stayed in, right? However, I was like, that has to have some sort of spiritual symbolism, because there's no way this is happening to me without a reason. Because that's not even the only broken lock that I have had this week. So I have also, for weeks, my car keys, the battery on my car keys, both my normal key and the spare key have been going, and every time I have gotten to the shop, I've forgotten that I needed to get a battery. But one morning I went to go and get myself a meal deal, and I couldn't get in to my car, so I had to use like the manual lock. And every time it does that, it's so embarrassing, because even though I've put the lock in and manually unlocked it, when you open the car door, the alarm starts blaring. So everyone at the bus stop's looking at me like, why are you breaking into that car? I'm like, it's my car, I swear. So this has been happening for weeks, and I kept forgetting to go to the shop. But I goes into the shop to get my meal deal, and I was like, just get the batteries, sort the car keys. Got the batteries, had my meal deal, walk into the car park. I don't know if anyone's been to Sainsbury's Berry Den, but the seagulls there, they're vicious, and I have been attacked in that car park.
You've been attacked quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, you better do that.
I've never.
Yeah.
I'm touching wood because the seagulls scare me.
Well, me too. I didn't think they did that much, but they did. I felt it in my hair, Zoe. It came in. I swear it tried to grab a claw of my hair, and I ran towards the car. But of course, pressing the button and the car's not opening because the car's not got the key's not got a working button. Anyway,
what is the symbolism behind this, Rose?
Well, I'll tell you what it is.
Right.
But so I was fighting to get the key out of the thing and unlock the car. I dropped my sandwich, and I can see that the birds stood there looking, and I'm like, just you back off. Just you back off. But I managed to get in the car, and I was safe. You will be pleased. Right. So the spiritual symbolism of broken keys. It might mean that something important is still out of reach. It tells you there's an obstacle in your life or a blockage in your energy that stops you from moving forward. It's like a little sign to look inside and wonder if some habits or beliefs are keeping you from opening new doors. Imagine trying to unlock a door that won't budge no matter how hard you try. Spiritually, this broken key means it's time to rethink your usual ways and break away from old routines. Many people have shared moments when this sign made them pause and take a fresh look at what's holding them back. It reminds us that sometimes setbacks are quietly calling us to change. It's an obstacle for personal growth. Take a moment for introspection. It points to emotional blocks or trapped energy, hints at a shift to a new phase in life, acts as a symbol for unlocking hidden truths.
The universe is literally telling you to stop, have a look, and sort your shit.
I know.
I think you should listen.
I'm trying to. I've been trying to.
Go to therapy.
Girls got to get on that waiting list. I clearly didn't learn my lesson when it came to the car keys. Just replace the battery. So it went, no, I'm going to physically break a key in your hand.
The universe is telling you to look at yourself and sort it out.
What if I don't know who I'll be if I sort it out though? Do you know what I mean? I could
There's
be a new girl. I could be a new girl.
It's fine. Maybe that's what you need.
Absolutely. But yeah. That sounds like so much work.
Well, it's got to be work, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, no, this can't be happening without a reason.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I think, if anyone else has been majorly impacted by life and it's kicking them in the arse, do you want to let us know? Please. One of my friends did text me a minor inconvenience recently. Amazing. I say recently, it could have been in the last 6 months, but let me have a little look. I love the little I hate AI, right? But see the little summaries you get in iMessages that tells you what it's trying to say. One just said something expressing love
in iMessages.
Yeah.
I don't use iMessage really.
Do
you want to know another minor inconvenience? Because you're all going to see it probably. I don't know if you will see it from this distance, but I have a spot on my face. It's like another massive face. It is.
Oh, do you want to? Don't want to be an inconvenience. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, I had a minor inconvenience. My minor inconvenience of the day is it's a cyclist on the road, but not just any cyclist, the cyclist. Oh, I think I spoke about this before. I spoke about cyclists being annoying.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's been a minor inconvenience, but thank you, Chloe. Thank you for your submission.
One day, if I'm ever arrested for something, assume it's pushing a cyclist over. But like as a pedestrian, see when there's cyclists on the pavements. I just wanted.
Yeah, fair. Right.
One day I'm gonna do.
Well, we move on to Brains Unpicked. Right. So I kind of touched on mine. So do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
I have been doing a lot of work on myself this year. listen, it's not. This has been the most brutal year of my life. Like, I'm in the best place and the worst place that I could ever be at the same time, right? And I'm not diving into that, but one of my major things is I actually love socialising. I love getting out the house. I love doing things with people, but I also very much need my time. But I am 27 years old and I live like a granny.
I'm 27 years old. I have no money and no prospects. I'm already a burden to my parents and I'm frightened.
Basically the vibes, right? I was sitting looking at myself and I was talking to one of my friends about it and we were like, what are we doing? What? And I can understand we're in an economic crisis. That's why we're in this situation that we're in. But what do you mean I am not out having the time of my life?
Yeah.
Like, I'm 27 years old. I'm not like retired. So why is it that I'm spending every weekend just doing things at home?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Something weird's happened and we're recording at different times, but I'm just going to not look into it too much.
Is it because...
I might just give you guys the full fucking technical issued episode.
Is it because you stopped me for a second?
I've got no idea. We're not going to look at it. Anyway, so, as I was saying, yeah, I just feel like I'm not living my life to the fullest. However, I need to also reserve time to, like, do nothing because I'm not capable of living my life to the... That's a plane, if you can hear that. I'm not capable of living my life to the fullest because I also need to know how to slow down. So I'm trying to, like, figure all of that out just now. And I can't remember where I was going with this and why I was... Yeah, so I want to understand is why does 27 feel so old?
I don't know. Because
it's not.
No. But you... Yeah.
It's not old, right? And I understand that. And when I say that to people who are older, they're like, 27 is not old. But when you say it to teenagers, they're like, oh my God, that's old. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. And I don't know if I'm maybe still stuck at the age of 14 where I'm like, 27 is really old. But I'm part of me's like, I am young and fun. Absolutely. And I should be out having young and fun. And the other point of me is like, you are so old, you need to sort yourself out and buy a house and organise your life and da-da-da. And then I'm like, no, you don't. Like, and I just feel like 27 is the age where your whole brain, like, people are like, 25, your brain developed. No. I think it was called 27 Club for a reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is insanity. What is this year of life? What is turning, like, 27, I feel like is to be fair, I cried a lot when I turned 20 as well. Like, I have weird reasonings behind ages that doesn't make sense to anybody else, I don't think.
Yeah.
But, like...
But I also have that. Yeah. And I'm about to turn 26 and I feel like that feels older than 27.
Fair, I didn't mind 26. 26 was fine.
Okay.
Ish. I think 26 was the start of what's going on here.
Right.
But there is, like... Everyone's just mental. And, like, obviously I'm trying to improve my social life because I'm like... Can I afford to improve my social life? No. But am I going to do it anyway? Because I'm like, I need more plot stories. Yeah. I can't decide one day and go, oh, I'm actually going to have kids and have no stories to tell them. Yeah. Because I spent the whole of my 20s in the house because of a pandemic. So and then got out of it and then didn't know what to do, so just stayed at home. No, like, this is not on. So I'm trying to add more things to the plot. I'm trying to make life a bit more interesting again. Oh my God, is it hard work?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So much work. Like, I'm having the best time when I'm out. And I'm having, I love that. Like, yeah. Things are fun. But at the same time, it's so exhausting trying to maintain a full-time job, going to the gym 3 times a week, which hasn't been happening, going out walks, seeing my friends, actually going out and having fun. Like, all of the things. It's all... No one ever set you up for this is what it was like to maintain this. And I'm very much in that phase of life where I'm backing about how community is really important. Like, and friendships are really important. I think we've talked about friends before. I adore my friends. My friends mean so much to me. Without being an absolute soppy human being, I adore my friendships and who are in my life. But it's such... No one talks about the fact that to remain friends with people is you need to put in a little bit of work. Yeah. And you need to be actively doing this. And I think we've, like, promoted this culture of do everything for yourself and protect your peace. And no, show up for your... Do the inconvenient thing to show up for your friends. Show up for your friends. Like, is it annoying that I have to drive 3 hours to do a Secret Santa every year? Yes. Do I absolutely love it and would never do anything but that? Yes. Like, I think that there is just such an isolation around being this age, especially if you're living on your own and doing it on your own. Because traditionally that wouldn't have been the case. Do you know what I mean? This is a very new era of very much a lot more people are doing that. And then there's a sort of erasure of community because it's like, well, why try hard with my friends? No, try hard. That's what I'm saying, everyone. Try hard to maintain your friendships. Now, if your friend is an absolute dick, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
But if you love and adore someone and you know they love and adore you too, just put in a bit of effort. Just put in a bit of effort. It's not the end of the world to be like, oh, that's quite annoying that I have to do that. But are you going to see them and have absolutely the best time and actually it wasn't that annoying anyway? Yeah, so get on with it. Show up for your friends. Go to the pub. Worry about the finances later, and stop pretending that 27 is in fact a pensioner. Thank you, everybody.
Well done. That was a nice TED talk.
Thanks. I'm not even unpicking anything. I'm just telling you.
Well, I feel like the main culprit here is, again, not to be the person, it's the 40-hour work week. Because can you imagine if we didn't have to work 40 hours a week and like I might have time to also keep my house tidy, do all those things that you listed, but also actually have a decent chunk of time where I can be like, I can see my friends and do all those things without stressing.
Yeah. The life. So,
but yeah, I agree. Put the effort in.
Yeah. I love all my friends and they love all me. And I think that what I've really taken away is I know my friends love me.
Yeah.
Big flex. I know that they love and adore me and they might not have the time for me all the time, but now that I've started to put in a little bit more effort with them, I feel like it's coming back to me as well.
Do you know what I am terrible for? Forgetting that, like, I can, even if it's last minute, I can just be like, I'm going to go and do this. Does anyone want to come?
Yeah.
And if they can manage, they can manage. Because do you know how many times I have bumped into friends in town when I've just gone for a mooch by myself? And I've been like, oh my God, there's Lindsay. Or like, I'm like, this could have been a plan. This could have been, and I just forget every time I go and do stuff myself. And I'm like, why am I forcing my own isolation here?
Yeah.
Like,
so
yeah,
I'm a big advocate for it is a lot of work and I'm not saying text your friends every day or expect your friend to text you paragraphs upon paragraphs. Text your friend once a month that you don't normally text and be like, oh, how's it going? Or make plans, and not everyone can come. Okay, but I'm going to do those plans with that person.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I'm at that stage where I'm starting to build that community again and realising how important that community is. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about recently.
Well, again, I feel like we are on parallel wavelengths here. However, I think that you might just be a few steps ahead of me in the the working it out.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about like, when is, like, everyone talks about when they're in their prime, and I'm like, when is my prime gonna be? Because this can't be it.
Yeah.
But like,
I think
maybe I should just be making it.
I still stick with my 30s are going to be my prime.
I think that too. I think I'm gonna go so rogue in my 30s. Yeah. Never let them know your next move, and I think I'm gonna have a really wild decade. Yeah, because I didn't do that in my teens or 20s. I
still think that we need to give ourselves a little bit of credit because we did get thrown into a pandemic.
Yeah, and
I think that stunted everyone, not just us, not just our age group, but I think to an extent it stunted everyone a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're not going to blame COVID forever, do you know what I mean?
I know.
And you just got to grip and get on with it and have some fun.
Definitely. But yeah, like, just to know who you are, and then, but also have the time and the energy and the money to go and be that person, I reckon.
Yeah.
But, well, yeah, so that was a quick one, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
look at us.
I'm saying when's my prime?
What we are saying is, when's our prime? Plummet yourself into debt. Go to the pub and have fun. Who cares? Add to the lore, and your 20s suck, so make sure you're actually checking in with your friends.
Yes.
That's a pretty fair summary of how our brains have been working recently.
Your 20s suck, but so do theirs.
Yeah, and it's hard for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, and crash out a wee bit more.
Yeah.
I've really adopted crashing out with my friends more and losing that.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the general public, but very much to my friends. Have they seen me in some states this year?
Yeah.
People have been exposed to a very different, a very internalized version of me, I think, as well.
That is the way it should be, though. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, bottle things up or, like, do it all
cry in front
private.
of your friends.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Even if it's silly, cry in front of your friends.
Mm-hmm. I had a friend in primary school that used to have a saying. She would say, it might have come from something I don't know, but she was like, "Don't cry over spilt milk. Wipe it up with your friends."
Oh, that's cute.
So yeah, do that.
Wipe it up with your friends.
Yeah. Wipe your own tears with your friends.
I love how we've come back into series 2 and we're like, hello, everyone needs to make sure their friends are okay.
Yeah. And hello.
And have a community.
Hello, friends. Also, people can reach out to us as in not like
we'll be your friend.
Yes.
Struggling with your friendships in your 20s. Let's build a community.
Yeah.
This is our community to struggle being in our 20s.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Brains Unpicked
this is. Unhinged. Whatever this is, feel free to be just as unhinged and be like, this is what.
We've been we're tame. Really. We're unhinged. We're unhinged in the way of like we just don't function.
We're unhinged as in like we've fallen off the hinges, not like we've been booted up.
But
yeah.
What? Yeah. This is it. This is our opportunity.
Yeah.
We're now in season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2 is about building that community of 20-somethings that just don't have it together.
Yeah.
And it's okay to not. And this is us telling you that we don't have to get that together, and it's okay to not have it together, and we can work it out. But we can only work it out if we're all actively working it out together rather than doing it on our own.
Come and speak to us.
This is inspirational.
Isn't it just like you didn't know we were capable of this kind of
We're changing it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Teach me something new.
It's the little book of something.
Little book of something, something, something. Little book of something, 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 something. Ooh.
Something. Okay, so this time, we're going to talk a little bit about Arthurian legend. Arthurian. So, do you know about King Arthur? Have you heard any?
King Arthur was the guy with the stone. No.
The Sword and the Stone. So we'll touch on a little bit of that
and
today.
There was also that film. Was that about King Arthur?
Which one?
The one where they got put back to... They lived in...
They got put back to and they lived in...
But like somehow they were in high school, but they were experiencing like the medieval times.
That sounds familiar.
And I can't remember if she accidentally like wound up in it, and it was like a high school, and there's like a scene where some guy's on the beach, and I'm sure that's something to do with King Arthur.
Okay.
It's a Disney film, I think.
What I will say is, I was a Merlin girly.
I watched a little bit of Merlin.
I don't care what anyone says about Merlin. That was formative to my youth. I remember is the still a Merlin girly.
I feel like the only thing I remember about Merlin was the dragon.
The dragon, yes, yeah. There was a night of
Avalon High. I think I've brought it. Avalon High. Avalon High clearly has a fundamental part of my youth, and I don't know why I remember it so much.
Well, Merlin was a fundamental part of mine, and I would still watch that shit to this day.
Right. Do you want to know the description of this film?
Yes.
It's got a terrible rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think it's great. When Ali, a teenage girl, moves to a new high school, Avalon High, she slowly realises that her classmates are all reincarnations from the legendary city of Camelot, trying to defeat a traitor.
I feel like I have seen that. Yeah.
See if you haven't seen it, please can we watch it?
Yes.
Right, crack on.
Right, okay, so I'm going to talk about The Lady of the Lake today. So I recently read, there's a Scottish author called Jean Mingus, and she wrote a book called The Lady of the Lake, which if I send a photo to you, we could maybe put here. Yeah, so she wrote a book about, and it was a sort of fantasy retelling of the story of the Lady of the Lake, which was part of Arthurian legend. And Arthurian legend is medieval romances and tales of King Arthur and like the Round Table. Right. So they were all legends, but it's not clear from history whether or not like King Arthur was based on a real king. He might have just been.
So is King Arthur not real?
No, but he might have been based on like a real king. So his tales are like heavily influenced by Celtic mythology. So there's a lot of like Irish, mainly Welsh mythology, but they kind of King Arthur was supposed to unite the lands of Albion, right? Which were separate kingdoms which had kind of been broken up by war. So really it's kind of like the UK.
Right.
Like a historical version of it. So the oldest tale of Arthur can be traced back to 1138, and Geoffrey of Monmouth, which is an impeccable name, Geoffrey of Monmouth wrote about him in the History of Kings of Britain. So it's kind of like, could he have been based on a real king?
Sorry to interrupt yet again. Don't understand how we have information from 1130, did you say?
1138, yeah.
1738. That was wrong. I don't know how we have information from then. How do we know that's true? Anyway, I'm not gonna dive into that. We'll get into that another day.
I don't know. But a lot of historians believe that he fabricated a lot of his stories. And from there, like, poets and writers sort of embellished his stories.
Oh, to be a historical poet. I like that.
To be a court jester. To be a fool. Well, I suppose I'm a modern fool, but there you go. So there are lots of characters and like individual tales within, like most folklore and stuff. There's loads of different stories, but most of it is influenced by Celtic and Roman folklore and Welsh mythology, and the Lady of the Lake is one of them. So there may only be one Lady of the Lake, or there might be multiple. Like, different versions of the story say that there's lots of Ladies of the Lake. Some of them refer to her as just one person that crops up in multiple different ways. So it can kind of get a bit confusing. But we'll go with, like, there's just one. And she had lots of different names. So she was sometimes called Nimue and sometimes called Vivian. Vivian.
R.I.P. to the Vivian, by the way.
I know, yeah. So Jean Mingus in her book called her Vivian, but I like Nimue, so I'm going to call her Nimue. Nimue. Ooh. So there's no like one clear idea of what she is. Some say she was a fairy, some say she was a sorceress or enchantress, some say she was a mortal woman who like got her power from bodies of water. And she's often described as being of the other world. So have you ever heard of the other world at all?
Yes.
So in Celtic mythology, the other world is like the land of the dead.
Yes.
And specifically in Welsh mythology, the other world, or it's called Anwen, is a fantasy land where time does not move the same as... Yeah. Wouldn't that...
Whoa. Aggressive.
Apologies. I don't know why I've been just smacking this whole time. Wouldn't that be... I think I sometimes periodically travel there where, like... time is not moving for me, but it's moving for everyone else, and then all of a sudden I'm dropped back into this timeline, and I'm like, why have I got no time?
Then you're just flapping.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if I momentarily go to Anwen. So the Lady of the Lake lives in the lake surrounding the Isle of Avalon.
Okay. I know Avalon.
You do know Avalon. So this was a mythical island inhabited by another sorceress, Morgana, and her sisters. So the Lady of the Lake has an underwater palace there. And bodies of water are often associated with gateways or portals.
Okay.
So they reckon that was probably her portal to the other world. So we would go along with this if we believe that she's not of this realm. So she's important because a lot of people know the story of Arthur pulling the sword from the stone.
Yes.
But not many people know how he later came to possess the true power of Excalibur. So in the Tales of Arthur, he ruled over Camelot, but was destined to unite Albion, which was those different kingdoms which had been fractured by war. So they called him the once and future king because they believed he would unite the lands. And when he was a child, he pulled a sword from the stone, which they believed that the people believed that it would be the once and future king who would pull the sword from the stone. Only he who was truly destined to rule the land would be able to pull it. So Arthur did that as a kid. So everyone was like, this is our true king. And people assume that sword wasn't ever given a name in those early tales, but people just assume that was Excalibur.
Okay.
So later on in the legends, Arthur breaks the sword during battle. He's fighting with somebody else and it shatters while he's fighting. And Merlin, who is his like sorcerer and advisor, takes Arthur to Avalon, and they launch the pieces of the sword into the lake, and it disappears, and a hand comes up with either a new sword or the sword fixed and presents Arthur, rises from the water and presents Arthur with the new magical sword.
Right.
Which has lots of power in it, and it was Excalibur. And it's the sword that Nimue had been holding for him. So she's the hand that appears.
Oh, right, okay. I was wondering how she fit back into this.
Nimue is the one that presents him with the sword. So it holds a lot of power and it can only be wielded by Arthur. So later on, when Arthur is mortally wounded in battle, somebody, I think it's Mordred, who's a druid, kills Arthur, and Arthur tells his knights of the Round Table to cast Excalibur back into the Lake of Avalon, so that the lady will take the sword back, so it can't be used by anyone else. But Arthur's body is also taken to Avalon after he's dead, and the Lady of the Lake is there and escorts him by boat to Avalon with her companions, so that he can live out not live out, but he can be laid to rest on Avalon. So her story also crosses over a lot with Sir Lancelot and Merlin's too, which I haven't fully gone into, but we can maybe come back to another time. But my question to you, Zoe, is if you had to bestow a sword with magical powers, what magical powers would you give it?
What magical powers would I give the sword? So how do the magical powers work? When I stab you, do you...
So she imbued the sword with powers, and when he used the sword, he drew his power from it. So he was excellent in battle, that sort of thing.
Right.
But you could give the sword any
power,
and then whenever you use whoever wielded it would...
So like I could make the sword like make me really good at tidying up, and I would just go about the house just tidying up the house.
Yeah.
Right. Don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind. Imagine I was really good at cleaning.
Yeah. But like, could it be really good at cleaning? Because that would just mean you still had to do all the cleaning.
Yeah, but if I was really good at it, I think I'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't enjoy something unless I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And if I'm not good at it, I'm not necessarily having a great time.
Fair enough.
I've been there myself, but yeah. If I'm not immediately excellent, then it's just not happening. To be fair, no, I actually do get humour out of being terrible at things. Like, I'm really bad at mini golf, and I do like going. Anyway, I don't know. What would you do?
I like your cleaning idea, to be honest.
Thanks.
To be honest, I think I would just like to be pretty good at sword fighting as well. Can you imagine just whipping that out?
I just feel like now I don't know what the purpose for a sword would be. Like, could I get it like a tiny little dagger?
Yeah, I suppose so.
And then it would be useful for like...
Well, what...
I would like it to make portals and stuff as well.
If you... Okay, so it doesn't have to be a sword. What object would you enchant, and what would you use it for?
Nice. Right, okay. What object would I enchant? Oh, you've stumped me here. I think I think it would be some sort of cube.
Okay.
Maybe,
Yeah.
don't know why, but I feel like it would be like a cube or spherical object. And I would use it to... Basically, I'll use it to ruin other people's days. I'm going to ruin your day, and your day, and your day. No, do you know what I would really like?
What?
If it could cast a spell that someone could automatically feel the way that I'm feeling and understand it.
That's a good one.
And not in the sense of that they'll feel like that way for themselves, but if I'm having a really off day and I'm not very good at explaining how I feel. I'm not very good at showing how I feel either. But if I could have a magic object that I just go, here, and they can just get it, and I don't have to explain it, and they can automatically just get what they need to do for me without me communicating. I think that would be really helpful. So they can just, because I start to see when I'm in a bad mood and everyone's in my ear and try to talk to me, and I'm like, I can't tell you just to go away because I'm going to actually lose my head, and I could just be like, take this, and they would be like, oh, I automatically know how Zoe's feeling right now. I'm going to leave her alone, or I think that actually would be my perfect tool, and it would be on my keys, so it would be a cute little decoration.
Okay, I was imagining one of those, those like static things you used to get at
but I would maybe just like miniature enough that I could put it on my keys.
Cute.
And it would just allow me to allow others to know what's going on.
I like that. I'm thinking, did you ever watch Barbie's Rapunzel?
No.
Oh, well.
If I did, I don't remember it.
In Barbie's Rapunzel, Rapunzel has an enchanted paintbrush, and she can paint scenes on a wall and then automatically walk through the wall into the scene.
Really good. Mine's quite deep, but that's fun.
I like
also, it would be really good to have a mini magnet that every time I've lost something, I go, where is it? And the mini magnet drags me to it.
Yeah.
That would also be cool. I'm just thinking about what's going on in my life.
Yeah. I like that one though.
Yeah, no.
Can you imagine if that was something that you could market on a mass scale? Just like everyone's walking around because then I suppose if you did that, say I wasn't understanding how you were feeling, and you handed me yours, and I was like, I now get that you're feeling that way, but this is how I'm feeling, and then we could come to some sort of compromise.
I think it would just benefit, and I'm not saying that I would use it all day, every day, every time something's a little bit I'm thinking in terms of the communication is completely lost. It's and it's just not helping, and nothing's helping if you could just give that. But think about how that would help people who are non-verbal and stuff as well, of being here, this is what this person's experiencing right now. Could help the medical fields. Wow.
I'm I just want to go whenever I want. I want
maybe I'm
freedom.
Maybe I'm just deep in life a wee bit just now. I think I am. Right. But it's fun. Okay. It's fine. I'm doing well.
Nice. Well, there you go. That was the little book of something.
I love that. That's so interesting. Well, that brings us to an end, question mark? Do you have a would you rather?
I have a would you rather if you would like to answer
I'll be so real with you. I've completely given up on the would you rather section of this podcast, so I only have
this came to me a couple of weeks ago. Would you rather live with a really major guilt that you thought was minor, or a really minor guilt that you perceive to be major? So the major guilt that you could have killed someone, but you're walking around nothing happened. But you, on the flip side, you could have done something genuinely tiny that no one would ever bat an eyelid at, but you're walking around like you've killed someone.
I think I would rather take the major thing and have the minor guilt for it. Just because I already live in a life where I feel major guilt for minor things, and it is actually do you know how many times I've had to go up to someone and go, I'm really sorry about that, and they're like, we literally don't know what you're talking about, and I'm like, this has been eating me alive for days. So I live regularly with major guilt for minor things that I apparently don't need to live with. So give me something major, because I'll probably, so that I don't feel guilty about it. I'll do the major. I'll kill somebody. No, I won't.
You heard it here first, folks.
Don't edit that out of context.
I wouldn't dare. That would be a major guilt. I also live with guilt on a daily basis. But Yeah, but then but like, what happens if other people found out and there was major consequences, and you're then like up in court and you're like,
well, that's the deal I'm going to have to take, to be honest. If I'm going to go away for killing someone for murder, I might as well have minor guilt about it.
Yeah, true.
I might as well stand my ground and go, they deserved it.
They had it coming.
Maybe they had it coming. They only had themselves to blame. If you had been there, you had seen it.
I bet you would have done this.
That's the vibe I'm going in for it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that I would do anything major and not feel minorly guilty about it unless I stood my ground and thought that, no, I back my choice and that's why I don't feel guilty about it. The only reason I'm going to do something majorly bad is because I've backed myself and I think that I should have done it, and that's why I've got the minor guilt. So I'm gonna go with that.
Nice.
You?
I don't know. I honestly posed that question and thought I don't know how to answer it.
Fair.
I don't know.
Fair.
I feel like I might just take the major guilt for the mine because my life would not change whatsoever.
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
Might as well.
Right, I'm trying to get rid of that burden.
Yeah,
I
fair.
might take that burden away.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
well, that brings us to the end of episode
It does indeed.
1 of season 2, but episode whatever it actually is chronologically, I don't know. I haven't decided how we're going to do this yet, if I'm going to do season 2 episode 1 or if I'm just going to jump to the next episode. Who knows? We'll see once it's posted. But thank you very much for tuning in, whether that was audibly? Audibly? No, is that right?
Yeah.
Whether you tuned in via platforms, oh my God, where's the words? Do you know what? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm never getting this outro done. So that brings us to the end of Brains Unpicked. Thank you very much for listening or watching on whatever platform you may have chosen. We appreciate the time off. We appreciate you guys. Hopefully, this season's in for exciting things.
I think it is because as you have said, we're doing it for the lore. We're doing it for the plot.
So on a new chapter, I guess. Well, that brings us to an end. I've said that, but yeah, cool. Kate, love you. Bye. Bye.